Welcome back, everyone, to this part 2 of the AMA. I hope you all enjoyed the first half, and with any luck, you'll enjoy this one as well. So, the next question on the list was, have you ever thought about collaborating with other ASM artists? Yes, I have. There are some who I remember from when I first kind of got into ASMR that are still around and are now these like titans of the industry, as it were. As well as some kind of smaller people that I've come across in more recent times. I'd be overjoyed to get to kind of do anything with some of them, but also, I'm open to collaborating with people as long as it's something that essentially just kind of matches my vibe, and something that people enjoy. If you have any ideas, or if you yourself would be interested in collaborating on something, feel free to get in touch, let me know. I'd be happy to talk it through and happy to see what happens. So, never know, something might happen. What is an audio idea that you've thought about doing but decided not to? Maybe you thought your fans wouldn't enjoy it, or it was something that is unlike what you normally do. Admittedly, I haven't really thought of anything. I've gone, oh no, I don't think they'd enjoy that type thing. It's more a case of I've looked and gone, I'm not really vibing with that at the moment. I'll go in a different direction for today. There's never really an idea that I have that goes, nope, that's kind of in the bin. There's some things that kind of just come to mind and go, that wouldn't work. Or in some cases, I've had ideas and I've gone, nope, that's currently out with my ability for kind of like production and sound design abilities. I'm learning, but it's a slow process. So, there's nothing really that comes to mind. There have been a few things I've been asked for, and just, it's, as I said, it's not my kind of vibe. In some cases, as I've kind of touched on earlier, it's an instance where it's not it's not a sphere I'm naturally a part of, so I'd much rather leave it to the creators who are a part of that, just so you get that more kind of sincere and genuine experience. As ultimately, the whole point of doing this is to provide you with something that you enjoy, and I just think that that's a big part of that. What other hobbies or talents do you have and enjoy? Oh god, you've asked me about hobbies now, and I'm like, what hobbies do I have? I don't know. You like reading and being in bed. That's not a hobby. It could be a hobby, but it's not a hobby. I do. I read a lot. I read a whole range of things. I tend to go more for kind of like thrillery type things. But yeah, I've read a whole range: fantasy, sci-fi, adventure, thrillers, detectives, all that jazz. A good book is a good book, and it doesn't have to be a literary masterpiece to be a good book. I absolutely loathe those people who will go, oh, well, that's not a real book. Piss off. If you enjoy it, that's what counts. Not every book has to be like War and Peace, or something else that we all agree is a literary masterpiece. I don't know, other ones. But you know what I mean? I hate those people who look down their nose at things and it's like, oh, no, go away. You have to tilt your head so far back to look down your nose at someone else. You should just piss off and keep your opinions to yourself. I have big opinions on that. But yeah, I love baking. I do. I really enjoy baking. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm good at it, but I enjoy it. I like the science behind baking in particular. But yeah, because of where I live, big fan of like hiking, hill walking, things like that as well. Any other talents? Sure, I have some. I've gotten this far in life. I probably do, but nothing comes to mind. I'm really sorry. Maybe something. I'll probably finish this up and be like, Jesus, you should have mentioned how you play classical guitar. I don't play guitar. I'm terrible at musical instruments. People pay me to stay away from musical instruments. Do you write all the scripts you do, and if so, what's that writing process like? How long does it take to put into writing an idea that you have for an audio? This is a long one. Do ideas naturally come to you, or do you have to find inspiration in something, maybe things you've experienced before? But if you don't write your scripts, then how do you decide which ones work for you and which best fit your style? Okay, I don't write my scripts. I come up with the ideas and then essentially I improvise them. So I look into what's working, I look at what tags I may be interested in doing, what tags are doing well on YouTube. Maybe there's a trend I could jump on because why not? Maybe there's something I go, I think people on YouTube might like this. Maybe there's a small niche in something. They go, right, I'm going to go for that one. I take a note of all of these. I come up with the ideas. There's a bit of research behind it, but ultimately I then improvise the whole thing. I use those tags. I look at kind of those jumping off points, things to mention, and they're on the screen in front of me, and I just go for it. I feel, in my opinion, it just flows a little bit better. It makes it feel more real rather than just trying to read off a script. I do have write scripts for Bloom. Feel free to check them out. It's just another random plug. I don't know why I did that, but I do write them. So if you like some of the things I do, you might like some of the things they do because I've done them. Also, they're just lovely people. But yeah, that's what I do. So essentially, I have a spreadsheet with all this information. It's all collated together. I then put it into my brain, and out comes the audio. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Some of my audios you'll see, have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 views. Other ones you'll see have like 200 or 300, and I take a note of all of that, as well as information as to when they were posted, how they were received. Did one that maybe didn't get a lot of views but got a lot of comments or a lot of likes or something like that. I use all that information, and that influences what I'm going to do moving forward. Now, I use the word influence very specifically there because if I enjoy doing something, I may keep doing it, I might just tweak it. But if I enjoy doing it, I'm just going to outright stop unless it's, truly not performing and you've all gone, this is trash, why are you doing this? Stop, making us listen to this. So that's what I do. That's how I go about creating these. How did you come up with the name for your channel? This one is not random. It does kind of hold some significance, in so much as the area where I grew up was famous in Scotland for its silver, and that is where the silver bit of SilverSounds comes from. So it's a nod to my hometown. Is SFX, I told you I barely speak English, something that you're big on? Do you like having sound effects in your videos, or do you like to just keep your audios more simple? The reason I tend to keep my audios more simple now is just because I'm doing it all myself. I am learning. I'm getting there. Hello. Well, come here then. So I'm learning, and I'm kind of getting an idea of what I can and can't do. I still experiment a lot. Some of them may work. Are you going to come up? Come on. Come up and say hello. Some of them may work. Some of them might not. But we'll see in the future kind of what happens, what's going on, and what I can pull off. What's your favourite movies of all time? Oh, that's such a good question. There are so many movies I enjoy. There's the really obvious ones like The Shawshank Redemption, great movie. Green Mile, cry every time. And I will fight people who are like, oh, it's not that good. I'll have words. But then also Lord of the Rings, cinematic masterpiece. God, there's a good number of them that I adore. I'm trying to think of what good films I've seen recently. And I really can't. I can't even think of something new I've seen recently that I enjoyed. Not because I didn't enjoy it per se. I did see that new Batman one with what's his face, Pattinson chap. Jesus, I felt every second of that runtime. But that wasn't the question. But just that's my opinion. There you go. What are your top 3 best weird food combinations that shouldn't go together but taste absolutely amazing? I really don't know. I was told I was weird because I like peanut butter with you get toast, bit of peanut butter, and then you mush some banana down on it. Someone said that was really weird. I don't care. It's delicious. Then like strawberries and balsamic, and the same with like strawberries and pepper. Tastes phenomenal. How do you come up with the scripts for your audios? As I said previously, I kind of look at what's going on, what I might like doing, what interests me, and go from there. How did you get into doing ASMR? Did you just decide one day to give it a go? Also, where does the inspiration or ideas for your videos come from? As I was approached by Bloom to do a bit of voice work for them, as I was already doing a bit of kind of script work for them, and thought, yeah, I'll give this a go. And you wonderful people really took to it, and here we are. And I'm very, very thankful for that. Now, let's take a little look at the comments. Would you consider making fictional folklore or historical character-based roleplay plots? I'm aware of beautiful folklore stories from Scotland. I'd love to listen to a roleplay related to such stories, or even listen to you reading stories like that. P.S. I love all your audios. Well, thank you very much, Jimmy Park 2201. It is something I've thought about, as I've said, I think in the last part 1. There are some ideas I'm playing with, and so watch this space. What is it like living in Scotland? Currently, it's like 20 degrees. It's really quite warm and sunny and lovely, but a bit bloody warm because there's nowhere to escape the heat. Would you consider doing a happy birthday audio? It's mine today, and I made a splash at Camp Widow. I'm sure I could come up with something. Wait, does this mean that we're finally getting a Q&A? We are, you are indeed. That's what this is. But yes, so I'd just like to take a moment to thank those who kind of put their names on the audios, or sorry, on the questions for this audio. You know, Chimmy Park 2201, Cosmic Majesty, Kelly Rickard 2385, Shy Roses. If I have mispronounced any of these so far and any of the ones to come, I apologise. Rosie Whisper Writes, Nikki Venom X, Alina, and Remus. I'm not going to try and do the two bits either side of that. I don't know how. They look like eyes, if I'm honest. Is your username staring at me? Is that what's going on there, Remus? Yeah, oh, see her. Bloody loud. Demanding attention while not actually coming close enough to get the pets she wants. Alright. I hope everyone has enjoyed this. If it's something you'd like to hear more of, let me know. I may well do another one. But I hope everyone has a wonderful time. You know, a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on when you're listening to this. And take care and be good to one another. Goodbye.